Good day, and thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. For all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Pastor Pope, and thank you for allowing us to come into your viewing environment. We are here with you every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, scheduling permitted, to address whatever topics you might like to discuss, whatever issues of life you find challenging or that you find difficult to navigate. You can discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. You can discuss marriage, divorce, raising children, blending families. You can discuss dating and relationships. Whatever's in your heart, whatever's on your mind, God is concerned about that which concerns you. So we are here every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, right here in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, which is brought to you daily by Fiji Water, Earth's finest water. You may already know that Fiji water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock, where the water collects in a natural, sustainable artesian aquifer where it is bottled right at the source, free from human contact until you unscrew the cap. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. This is Earth's finest water. And for those of you who continue giving on the Give segment of our app at New Life Delaware, and those of you that have made a monthly commitment to support the broadcast by giving on the Give segment of our app, and on our website on the contribution page at New Life Ministries International, we thank you for your support and your commitment as we fulfill our commitment to God to be here to address whatever topics you might like to discuss and whatever issues of life you find challenging or that you find difficult to navigate. So I'm going to say to all of our listeners and viewers, I hope that you were tuned in yesterday. I know I haven't had an opportunity to look at all the stats from yesterday, but I hope you were tuned in yesterday. We had such a great time at New Life Christian Center on Sunday, Mother's Day, at New Life Christian Center, 400 Hillcrest Avenue, at the corner of Hillcrest and Marsh Road in Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. I want to say to everyone, service begins at 10 a.m. and I know we go live with our Sunday sermon at 10:45 a.m., but I can tell you the men of New Life yesterday who sing now officially on for the praise and worship that is going to be doing praise and worship moving forward. I will be making that announcement also just periodically. We won't be doing it every Sunday, but we had such a good time. The men leading in praise and worship yesterday for Mother's Day. And I want to say thank you to all the brothers who participated and who were part of such a good time leading praise and worship yesterday. So I hope you were all tuned in to Sunday's sermon, but we had a great time. So if you're in our area, come and worship with us. We don't want you to miss out on the fun at New Life Christian Center as we have a good time in the Lord. I want to make an announcement that was announced yesterday, but I want to follow up with this. We will be launching, contracts are signed as of Friday, we will be launching our platform on freeradionetwork.com. So we will make certain that everyone is aware once everything is uploaded, and we're broadcasting live there also on the radio, on internet radio at radiofreenetwork.com, pardon me. So we want you all to tune in on whatever platform is of your preference. We are live on Facebook and we are live on YouTube, Monday through Friday, right here in 3D, and then for the Sunday sermon on Sunday. So 6 days a week you have us, and we're going to be expanding some of the platforms and some of the programming that we have. So stay tuned in. Encourage your family, continue to encourage your family, friends, and coworkers and colleagues to tune in, because we have received such a significant increase in viewership, and we are thankful for your support and your commitment to support all that we do. I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you have a desire to do something that will have an impact on society. However, you do not have any idea where to begin. So let me say this to you. First of all, to God be the glory that you want to do something to impact society. It's one of the things I encourage people all the time. I encourage people to do. We say we want to be like Jesus. We say we want to be like him, but we are so happy about being saved and so happy about what Jesus has done for all of us that we feel to realize the responsibility that we have to carry on that legacy. So I'm going to encourage you, first of all, by saying it once again, to God be the glory. And then I'm going to say also, you have two options that are readily available to you. And what that means is this. You can either volunteer at another charity, focus on something that you really have an interest in. Focus on supporting that, or by donating or giving, and particularly giving of your time. See, it's real easy to write checks. It really is. It's real easy to write a check and donate to a cause. But we need to do both. We need to support, by financially support, and we need to try to give of our time to whatever cause is of interest to you. Now, I know, pastoring a church, everyone thinks that it's just about serving inside of the church, but it's just as important to serve outside of the walls as it is to serve inside of the walls. So if we really focus on doing both those things, that's going to take a significant portion of our time anyway. But find something that's of interest to you and then volunteer. And then the next thing that you have the option to do is to decide what philanthropic interests you have. What would you be interested in establishing, either a fund to support a particular cause, or to set up an entity that will operate what's of interest to you, to have an impact on society. Every one of us, this is what's real interesting, and it's hard to understand how we've gotten here. We are such a selfie-driven society that we really don't focus on how we can give back. And so what happens generally for most people is, they either give of their money, their financial support, and not give of their time, or they give of their time and don't give any financial support to the cause because they feel like giving their time is all that's needed. Well, the truth is both are needed, because there's a cost involved in impacting society, and it's our financial support and our physical support, meaning give of our time. So, in our church, for example, the people in our church serve in our church, but they also give, in addition to their tithes, they're giving to support whatever charitable endeavors we are focused on in the community. So when I say that, not meaning that we take up a lot of offerings, because that's not the case. We give of, it may be goods, it may be services, but we donate and give so that the church can then perform tasks outside of the church. And then we give of our time. So we're looking forward to the pandemic being addressed and coming to an end. COVID is always going to be with us, but we are doing what needs to be done to stay safe and well, and for humanity purposes, to keep others safe and well. So every year our church, we get together and we go to do a day of service at the Ronald McDonald House, for example, outside of the church. We are now doing, we do through our children's church 4 service projects every year. So we give to the children for their service projects. Our entire congregation. So we are supporting outside of the church. And that's where we really have to focus our attention. We know what we're doing inside the church. We focus on what we need to do outside of the church. So I'm going to encourage you to do this also from your own perspective, and that is find where you can volunteer your time and make certain that you are giving your financial support to whatever organization is important to you. If it's, cancer, donate every year to support the cause of finding a cure for cancer. If it's Alzheimer's, do the same thing. If it's Parkinson's, do the same thing. Whatever the cause might be, we have to be willing to give our financial support and to support with our physical support. So also every year we support the Alzheimer's Foundation. We support the walk and runs for Alzheimer's. That's something that's important to us. We've donated to support the cause of fighting cancer. We're always looking for places that are important to us to give our financial support also. So I want to encourage you to do that. But if you have a burning passion inside of you to focus on some type of philanthropic endeavor, then find what's important to you and volunteer, give up your time, give up your financial support, and you will feel whole again. Now for us, because we operate our Achievers Academy, education is a big component for us, a huge component for us. And when I say that, meaning that encompasses every day of our lives in our church, because we operate the Achievers Academy, so we're constantly looking for methods to raise funds to take the students on college tours, and we're making certain that we're supporting students, who suffer from homelessness. There are people out there who are not in our church that are suffering. We try to be of assistance in those areas. So all of those things are important to us as a church, and to you who's not a part of our church, who's not in our area. You now have this burning passion inside of you to do something to impact society. Find out what that looks like for you, and I will help in any way that I can to give you any direction to accomplish what you desire to accomplish. And may the Lord bless you and keep you. May He keep His face turned towards you, and may He give you perfect peace on that journey. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G provider at no extra charge. So if you are not currently a T-Mobile customer, you may call or text on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. We will place you into our queue so that you can become a T-Mobile customer and experience America's largest and fastest 5G provider at no extra charge. Taxes and fees will be included in your bill, and if you auto pay by attaching a credit card to your account, you will receive a discount on your monthly bill at T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G provider at no extra charge. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you are hearing rumors that your company is going to be sold, and you are concerned about what adjustments you might find necessary to make in your life. So, I can tell you, I've heard this more than once from many people. Well, I will say a few people before the pandemic. And then I've heard this even more during the pandemic. Here's what I have to say to you. You do not have any control over whether or not your company is sold. No one has any control over whether or not their company is sold to some other buyer or some other investor or some private equity group or whatever the case may be. You have no control over that. What you do have control over as prior to your company getting to that place is that you become the best version of yourself that you can possibly become, that you encourage your co-workers and colleagues to become the best version of themselves that they can possibly become, and that all of you are working diligently to make your company as strong as it can possibly be, so that perhaps it can avoid being sold or merging with someone else. Those are the things you have control over. However, if your company decides that it's in the best interest of the shareholders, or if your company owner decides that it's in the best interest of the sole owner of the company and his family to sell the company, you don't have any control over those things. What you do have control over is what you do. Now, you say you're concerned about the adjustments you might find necessary to make. Listen, life is full of adjustments. You will handle the adjustment well. You're just concerned because you've been there for a long time, and I get that. Sometimes God closes one door so that he can open a greater opportunity for you. But just know this, you'll survive any changes that your company makes. However, the good news is your company is not going out of business. Your company has not become insolvent. Your company is not, there may be some challenges, but you don't need to worry about them closing their doors. And because you're still going to be employed, and even though you're a little bit concerned about maybe having to take a pay cut, I'm going to tell you this. God, as I was prayerful about this, God showed me in that secret place, you're not going to have to take a pay cut. Your company is eventually going to be sold, but it's not going to have an impact on you. It's going to be sold, but it's not going to have an impact on your income. It's not going to have an impact on your employment. Now, there are oftentimes, and here's what's really interesting. There are oftentimes people will send me that communication being concerned about their company, being concerned about their employment, and their companies may be going through some changes, and it will have an impact on them, but that's not your case. That's not your testimony. It's not going to impact your employment. It's not going to impact your salary, and it's not going to happen right away. So you're either going to have a greater opportunity to position yourself, watch this, for the new opportunity that is going to be placed before you. You're going to have an opportunity to be promoted after this acquisition is completed, this merger. You're going to have an opportunity to be promoted. It's going to happen over the next 18 months. You need to prepare yourself to be promoted, because what you're going to find, and when I say the next 18 months, so what God showed me in that secret place is that as of July 1st, watch this, July 1st of 2023, you're going to have an opportunity to be promoted. Your company will be sold over the next 18 months. So think about this. That gives you essentially 2 years for you to prepare for the promotion. We're in May of 2021, and over the next 18 months, your company will be sold and merged together with another company. you're going to have the opportunity for promotion. You got to prepare now for that promotion. You can't wait until the promotion happens or until it's offered to you, because you might wait and miss your blessing. Prepare now. Begin preparing now for the promotion that will come later. Stop looking for a problem and look forward to your promotion. So don't be concerned about what's going to happen. Be thankful, be prepared, and be blessed. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by Charles Tyrwhitt, located in London, the UK. They also have stores in New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and at the King of Prussia Mall in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. So if you're in any of those areas, check for their store hours because they may have changed. And stop in at the retail stores. They have everything a man could possibly need. Shirts for men, ties for men, suits for men, and accessories. If you're not in any of those areas, you can order from Charles Tyrwhitt at ctshirts.com. They will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. And The White Company, located in London, the UK. They also have a store on Fifth Avenue in New York, and they have a store at the Short Hills Mall in Short Hills, New Jersey. If you're in either of those areas, stop in at the retail stores. First, check for the store hours because we know store hours have changed due to the pandemic. However, check for the store hours. Stop in at the retail stores. They have everything that you could possibly need: home goods, clothing for men, women, and children. If you're not in either of those areas, you can order from The White Company at thewhitecompany.com. They too will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that your friend invited you to live with her after your divorce, and you could never repay her for what she has done. However, the pandemic came, and you can tell that over this period of time of being roommates, for lack of a better term, that your friendship is being strained, and you're not sure what to do about it. So let me tell you what you need to do about this. So it was very nice of your friend, first of all, to invite you to come and live with her, to room with her, particularly after your divorce. You're right. When someone is willing to open their home to you, for you to stay, there'll never be anything you can do to repay them. You can reciprocate if the opportunity ever presents itself, but you really can't repay someone for being able to, for them opening their home to you, to stay with them, because that is love. Someone wants for you what they want for themselves: joy, peace, a place to lay your head, and rest in the Lord. Okay. So now, having said that, you have to recognize that because you're two different people. So let me go through this. You're two different people with two different lifestyles, but you are friends. You don't live the same way. You don't do the same things. You're two very different people, but you have become friends. She's single. You're now divorced. You've been friends. She was willing to open her home to you. That's a beautiful thing. But you're not the same people. And because you know it's now straining your friendship, it's time for you to start looking for your own place. It's time for you. And here's why I say this was nothing but an act of love. Think about this. Not only did your friend allow you to room with her. The only thing that she asked for in return, you offered, but the only thing she asked for in return was for you to help with groceries, cooking, you helped with the cleaning, that's great. But that's the only thing she asked for. She wanted you to become stable. You've been able to save money, and because of that, you're now able to move. So it's really like someone gave you money every month for you to prepare to move. It's a blessing from God that someone was willing to do that for you who's not even your sibling, not a family member. They're just a friend. But they're a good friend. And you want to maintain that relationship. So what you need to say is not that the friendship's being strained, because she may not even see it being strained. It may be part of your COVID fatigue that you feel it's being strained. But what you need to do is to tell your friend, it's time for you to become stable again on your own. And then what you can do is then do some nice things with your friend or for your friend, maybe once a quarter for the next year. Just do something nice for her or with her. Now, I know you're going to see her in addition to that, but just do something to say thank you. Because then what that demonstrates is that her love is not forgotten, and it certainly hasn't been taken for granted. Because that was a very generous and loving thing to do when you needed her most. You didn't show up on her doorstep with your bags. She knew you were going to go through a divorce and invited you to come and stay with her prior to the divorce. That's a real friend. That's someone who was there for you when you needed her most. And now that you've been able to stabilize your life and make sure you can move on, you need to move on, because you don't want to destroy a very good friendship. I want to say to all of our listeners and viewers, I received a lot of communications. We just received so many communications last week about our monthly broadcast with our monthly contributor, Rebecca Buva, licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist. You all are so excited about having her on the broadcast. And you keep asking me about bringing her on the broadcast more. It's not that I don't want to bring Rebecca onto the broadcast more. It's that Becca has a full-time career. She is also doing her own business, her own practice now, and that takes up a lot of time. So we'll take Becca whenever we can get her, but we wanted to have one particular broadcast set aside where we knew that she would be able to address all of the questions from our listeners and viewers and share information with us that would help us to become whole in body, mind, and spirit. But I have to tell you, I get it. You all would love to have her on more. I would love to have her on more also. But let's be thankful for the time we do have her, because she's got a full schedule also, but she has done such an amazing job. However, she has done such an amazing job making certain that we all are whole and complete in our body, mind, and our spirit. As always, today's Daily Divine Direction broadcast 3D is brought to you by Fiji Water. A taste of paradise will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. May God bless you today. May God keep his face turned towards you. May God give you peace, peace that surpasses all understanding, and perfect peace in our everyday lives. It is the start of a new week. Let's make certain that we